Alright, as you can tell, I'm still wearing my work clothes. I'm actually doing this review right after getting off work. I got home and I ate, talked to my mom for a little, and now I'm back to business. Now, this has spoilers up ahead. I don't know when I'm going to talk about spoilers, but I'm going to talk about them. Mortal Kombat 2021. Now, I actually saw the movie, the midnight release version, HBO Max, because originally it was going to come out on the 16th, which was my week off, but they pushed it to this week, to the 23rd, which was Friday at midnight, West Coast time, which was basically 3 a.m. where I live, and I was going to be at work at the time. By 3 a.m., I'm finished doing everything at work, so I just do whatever, and that's when I started watching it. But the thing is, I don't know if it's my phone or anything. It was just too dark. Like the dark scenes, I couldn't see anything. So I waited until I got home and I saw the movie with my mom. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 2021. I have mixed emotions about this movie. Don't get me wrong. I recommend you watching the movie. It's actually enjoyable, but there are just some things that really didn't sit well with me. Like not to the point where I hate it, but for example, some origin stories were drastically changed. Uh, for example, Jax, like I don't hate. I don't like. It doesn't bother me the fact that Jax's origin story for his arms changed. I think in every iteration, whether it be the piece of shit Annihilation, the original Mortal Kombat, the MK 2011, and in this one, they all had different reasons why he got metal arms. In the original, I think it's because he just wanted to be stronger or something, which is kind of the same reason he did it in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. In MK 2011, he got his arms blown off by Ermac, and in this one, similar but with Sub-Zero, as we saw in the trailer. Now, I was like I said, that origin story change really didn't bother me. Um, the origin story that actually did kind of bother me a little, but ultimately I was alright with, was the Kano and Sonya Blade relationship, or more like rivalry or enemy ship, nemesis system, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But basically, we all know how Sonya Blade and Kano hate each other in the games because he killed one of her partners, and now she's after him. But in this one, they literally didn't know each other, like until that. There's a scene where, this minor spoiler. There's a scene where Sonya says that she was tracking down a champion, which I'll get to that plot in a second. She was tracking down a champion to recruit him for Mortal Kombat, but as she found him, he was having his neck slit open by Kano. So yeah, I'm guessing they didn't know each other, or I really don't know. They don't really flesh out that. And since I already said that I'm going to talk about this, this really bothered me. The fact that everyone except Cole knows what Mortal Kombat is. My fucking light just went out. Fuck it. It's light enough outside. Yeah, this bothered me because in the original games or the fucking remake, the only ones that I know of that know about the Mortal Kombat tournament from Earthrealm are Raiden, but he's an elder god. He's a god, so of course he was supposed to know. Kung Lao, and basically any Shaolin monk. Kung Lao, Liu Kang, Bo' Rai Cho, Fujin, basically any fucking Shaolin monk knows because they're trained under Raiden, so makes sense. But in this one, everyone fucking knows. Like Special Forces knows, Liu Kang and the Shaolin monks know. Basically, I think that's the only two. Well, another thing, the Lin Kuei, because the only Lin Kuei you see get fucking massacred by Hanzo, which that's Scorpion's name before he dies. Um, they get massacred by him, and you don't see any Lin Kuei throughout the movie except Bihan, which is the first Sub-Zero. It doesn't bother me. I just wanted to mention that. Now, let's get to what I actually enjoy about the film. I really enjoyed the references and the throwbacks to past characters and past games, and like there's this one scene where Sonya is showing Cole her secret hideout, and like for a short glimpse you see a picture of what's his name, Nightwolf. Like I like that. I don't know. Like I said, I just like the small references and the Easter eggs and shit. One thing that I do like is that there's a fuckload of fan service. Like a literal fuck pile of fan service in this movie, which that gets an A+ for me. Because me being a huge Mortal Kombat fan, I wanted to see references or characters that I really like. I really wanted to see more Outworld characters. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get to see that many, but I'm glad we saw Nitara, the most badass hunter in Outworld. We got Goro. I mean, we saw him in the trailers, obviously. We didn't get Shao Kahn, but we did get that big fucking statue in front of Shang Tsung's palace. Cabal, for some fucking reason, is evil in this one. I really don't know how that goes. Then again, I don't really know much about his origin story, so... Melina's in here. Sub-Zero, for some reason, he's with Outworld. I don't know. That's another thing that really kind of like fucked with me. I know in the original one he was also for Outworld, but that was before I knew a lot about Mortal Kombat. So, Shang Tsung, obviously. Yeah, when it comes to Outworld characters, we really didn't see that many. Because out of the evil ones, only Shang Tsung, Nitara, Goro, and Melina are the only Outworld characters. You can count I think they were supposed to be Saurians. I don't know. Like, the reptiles that end up... Like, the one that fucking Kano kills. When I first saw the trailer, I thought it was Reptile. But no, it's I'm guessing it's one of his race. But they didn't call them Saurians. They call them, something like lizard or some shit. I don't know, but it like had to do it was a synonym for a reptile or for a lizard. So I really don't know. I don't know if they like changed the name for the movie. I really don't. But yeah, there are some scenes or some lines that are pretty fucking cheesy and corny, even for Mortal Kombat standards. That God, I actually facepalm during some of them, and unfortunately, most of them come from Cole. Like it's just I think the fact that adding a new character specifically for the movie, just I was like, obviously it wasn't gonna sit well with some fans, but when a game develops a certain dynamic, a certain ambience, just adding something new to the mix as an experiment, it's not always going to pay off. But I like his character arc. I just didn't like him as a character. Like, he was... I'll give him this. He wasn't a little bitch. He wasn't whiny. Like the motherfucker actually, like, he literally said he would die for his family. And he actually, like, stuck to it. Like, motherfucker actually... There was a part where Raiden told him, you're too weak mentally and physically, you can't fight, they will kill you. And he says, not quote, like not word for word, but he says, I'm willing to die for my family. And the motherfucker actually goes under training. I admire that, because most of the time in these types of movies, the main character is a little bitch or something. But yeah, no, I admire that. And his character arc, I like it. And I like the fact that he's related to Scorpion. He's a descendant. Alright, now that we're talking about Scorpion, those fucking trailers really mislead you. They make you think that Scorpion is gonna be in the movie. Motherfucker's only in the first the 7 minutes he's in the beginning that you saw the preview, and I'm guessing like 7 minutes at the end. And also there's some visions that Cole gets throughout the movie of Scorpion in hell or in the nether realm. But yeah, those motherfuckers really got us with that trailer. I really thought Scorpion was gonna be in like the whole movie. And I thought that was a good and a bad thing, because it was a good thing because everyone loves Scorpion. Who fucking doesn't? But I was thinking it was gonna be a bad thing because Scorpion's Revenge, the animated one, it's called Scorpion's Revenge, right? Then why the fuck are a lot of scenes other characters? Like, don't get me wrong, I love the movie. Like, I love the dynamic that the movie like had. But if it's called Scorpion's Revenge, spend the most amount of time with Scorpion. Like, I honestly wouldn't give a fuck if the fucking Sonya Blade / Reptile fight wasn't in the movie. It was awesome because it was in it, but it really wouldn't have bothered me if it was taken out and replaced with something that actually had Scorpion in it. That's kind of how I feel about this one, because although I'm glad Scorpion is in this movie, I'm kind of even more glad that it wasn't just solely based on him, even though his origin story and his rivalry with Sub-Zero is the most fucking known story in the entire Mortal Kombat universe. Like, very little has changed throughout the iterations. So, for a reason, I'm pretty sure, because it's the most known story, it was added to the movie. It makes sense. But yeah, no. Like, the beginning and the end, that's it. That's the only time you see Scorpion. As opposed to Sub-Zero, which is like the main bad guy. You see him throughout the whole fucking movie. You literally see him at the beginning fighting Scorpion. You see him after trying to kill Cole and his family. You see him fight Jax. Then you later see him talking to Shang Tsung, which I'll talk about fucking Shang Tsung and most of the villains in a few seconds again. But yeah, like I said, you mostly see him throughout the whole movie. Now let's talk about another thing I didn't like. Yeah, a lot of these characters are flat. Like, Shang Tsung was a fucking disappointment for me. And which sucks because I really like Shang Tsung. This motherfucker looked like a gypsy with that fucking whatever the fuck wedding dress looking thing. Like, yeah, he wears something like that in the games, but like not to that fucking extent. That and I think I already mentioned Cabal about being evil. Yeah, the one thing that like I really couldn't believe the Jax and Sonya friendship, because they really were not together until like they find him at Raiden's temple. Like, you're supposed to believe they have like a camaraderie because they've been working together for like 20 years, I think. And you literally don't see them in the same scene until they get to Raiden's temple. And like the first time she sees him, this motherfucker's in a coma because they're fixing his arms. The next time you see them together is when he wakes up from his coma. And I don't really believe their friendship until he saves her from being crushed. When he discovers... Oh, shit, the Arcana, I forgot. There's something in this one called Arcana, which it's kind of like their chi. I'm pretty sure they don't want to use chi because it's like a cliche. But yeah, Arcana is basically they were pulling a Gohan. You had to find your inner power, your inner potential. And the only way you can do that is if you were a marked champion, which is why they have the fucking mark. Sonya doesn't have one. Sonya does not have one. She gets hers by, spoiler, killing Kano towards the end. Which, fuck. I'll talk about Kano in a few minutes. But yeah, the first one I actually find is his Arcana is Kano. Then it is Cole or Jax. I think they find it at the same time, like around the same time. And then it's fucking Sonya Blade. But you don't actually see her scene where she finds her Arcana. Like basically the way you can find your Arcana is by channeling what drives you. And her character really wasn't that fleshed out. We don't fucking know what drives her. You could say that killing Kano is what drove her, but how could that happen when she didn't have a fucking rivalry going on in the first place? Like, maybe she developed so much hate for him during the time they were together that that's probably what set it off, but it was off screen, so it was like very, very disappointing. But yeah, first Kano, then Jackson, Cole, then Sonya. Let's fucking talk about Kano. Kano, hands down, is the best fucking character in this movie. I was not expecting Kano, because Kano is a smart ass asshole. He's a fucking asshole. He's a smart ass. He's a piece of shit in the games. The actor who plays him channeled into that and fucking amped it up to 11. Like, literally every scene Kano's in, he says something stupid, he says something funny, or he just says something like completely out of left field that just takes you by surprise, or not by surprise, but it just fucking gets you and makes you start laughing. Like, the first time I watched it at work, I saw it in English, and I was fucking dying of laughter. When I saw it at home on my TV with my mom, I saw it in Spanish, even more laughter. Like, I am not even gonna, like, if you haven't seen the film, go, if you have HBO Max, watch it. If you don't, go to a theater and watch it, but make all the precautions. If you haven't taken the vaccine, like, I've taken the vaccine, so I'm actually maybe gonna go watch it in the movie theaters. But if you haven't taken the vaccine, wear a face mask, stay away from people, wash your hands, and just try to do the best you can to enjoy the film. But I can guarantee you, Kano was gonna make it's Kano's the best fucking part of the movie, and I'm kind of sad they killed him. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe they could bring him back as a fucking revenant, but like, I don't know. But it really kind of hurt when he died, because fuck, we're not gonna be able to hear any more Kano-isms. I'm not okay. No, I was gonna say something, but I didn't know how to phrase it, so fuck it. The ending is a fucking cliffhanger. Like, you know that show on PBS, Between the Lines, when there was a book literally called Cliffhanger, and there was a guy literally hanging off a cliff, and every time he tried to get off a cliff, he just ended up falling on the fucking cliff and hanging from the cliff? That's kind of how I felt. Or to put it in another fucking perspective, imagine going to a massage parlor, a Korean massage parlor. They start jacking you off, but they don't let you come. There's no happy ending. Yeah, that's kind of how you feel. Because, major spoiler, I don't think it's a major, but I'm going to say major just in case. If there is a sequel, which I hope to God there is, Johnny Cage is going to be in it. Because Cole, before he joins the Mortal Kombat Champions, he was a MMA fighter who fell from grace. Whether they don't really say how he lost his fame or anything, but he's no longer the fighter he used to be. So, excuse me, he would fight, I'm guessing, back alley fights for $200 a fight, and he ends up quitting that at the end of the movie. And his manager, his trainer, whatever, he says, "What are you gonna do?" "I'm going to Hollywood." "What the fuck is in Hollywood?" "Not what, who?" And as soon as he said Hollywood, I'm like, this motherfucker is teasing Johnny Cage. And as soon as, like, he leaves the gym, there's literally a poster of a movie. It's referencing Citizen Kane, but instead of Citizen Kane, it's Citizen Cage. And which I'm glad, because I really thought Johnny was gonna be in the movie but die just like in Annihilation, but no, they completely omit him from the movie because he's gonna be in the sequel for the Mortal Kombat tournament. And now that I touched that subject, this movie does not have the tournament in it. It does not have the tournament in it, which I like because that leaves more room for, like, how do I say this? More stylized fights? No. Yeah, fuck it. I'll say for more stylized fights in the sequel when there actually is a tournament. Because this one, this movie takes place maybe a month before the tournament because there's a line in the movie that I think it's either Kung Lao or Liu Kang. I think it's Liu Kang that says we won't see the next full moon before the tournament starts. And we all know a fucking moon cycle was a month, so, or around a month. So maybe it takes place a month before the movie, before the tournament. I'm not sure. But the sequel is gonna have the tournament. Yeah, I'm 100% sure. Now, I'm gonna touch on one more thing that I really didn't like before I touch on the last thing that I did like before I end this video. I really did not like fucking Shang Tsung's motive in this movie. Like, did they really have to give him a cliche fucking reason to be in this movie? Like, I'm gonna kill everyone so they don't have a chance to win, or I'm gonna do this so they can't do that. Like, it was cliche as fuck. But because it wasn't the tournament, I can see why they try to do something to, like, sabotage Earthrealm. I get it, but that was so fucking clean. Like, that's a cop out. Like, it really is. And I mean, what am I gonna do? I can complain about it, which I am. But yeah. And now let me talk about the thing I like the most. Which, come on. You know who I am. You know me. I've said it before. And this is Mortal Kombat we're talking about. The violence and gore. Believe it or not, there's not that much gore. Like, do you count fucking Jax's arms being shattered as gore? I don't. I call it extreme violence. Extreme violence about to become gore, but no, not really. The first gory scene that I see is Goro being gutted, I think. Like the first, like, legit graphic gore scene, I think it's that. No, I'm fucking lying. It's when Kung Lao does his fucking saw hat trick when he throws it against the ground and it starts spinning and he kills Natara. Yeah, spoiler, sorry. Yeah, he kills Natara, like with the MKX fatality, the one where he just fucking throws his hat. It's spinning like a table saw, and you just fucking send the motherfuckers through. Well, normally, he would push your ass down, throw the hat, start spinning, pull you, start cutting from your dick all the way to your brain. This time it was the other way around. Like, he was on Nitaro's back trying to rip her wings off. He couldn't, so he called his hat like fucking Captain America, throws it on the sand, it starts spinning, and he, like, I think pushes or guides Natara into the hat. He jumps off, and that bitch just gets filleted in half like a fucking pig. And sadly, Kung Lao gets killed by Shang Tsung. So yeah, the gore is awesome. Gore. There's only 2 gory scenes. There's a shitload of stabbing scenes, especially in the beginning. And at the end, too, actually. But yeah, I think that'll cover it. I was going to say that some of the special effects really weren't that good looking. Like, it doesn't bother me, but, like, because I see these things now, I just can't stop fucking noticing it, and I'm gonna fucking say it. Like, it's not bad, but, like, there are some where it's really noticeable. Like in the first 7 minutes when Scorpion is fighting some of the Lin Kuei, there's a scene when he stabs the guy on top of his head, but when he starts bleeding, like I don't know, out of color correction maybe, I don't know, like you can tell the blood just doesn't go. And one scene where fucking Kung Lao throws his hat and Shang Tsung's face goes like that. Did they really have to like CGI him going like that, because it snaps. It doesn't even like you know how in the beginning when Scorpion throws his spear, and you can see Sub-Zero go like that, like he actually moves his body out of the way. Now with Shang Tsung, like literally hat, snap. Fuck, my neck actually snapped while I did that. Oh, I felt good though. But like no, like the hat's going, and his head just goes like that out of nowhere. Like, yeah, I really noticed that. Like both times I saw it in my phone, which is I was gonna say a piece of shit iPhone 8, but no, it actually works pretty well. And on my TV, which is a LG 2019 4K TV, and I noticed that on this bitch way better than my phone. So yeah, I noticed that, and yeah, I think that'll cover it. Do I recommend watching this movie? Yes, I do. As a Mortal Kombat fan, even though there are some things that really kind of got under my skin, I still recommend it. As a movie fan, well, I mean, it's up to you. Like I said, there is some graphic violence. There's some few gore scenes. There's cussing out of the ass. But I do recommend watching this movie on HBO Max, or if you don't have HBO Max, just, like I said, go to the movies, take all the precautions, wear a mask, whatever. But yeah, I go support this movie. Go watch this movie, because I feel that Warner Brothers is going to decide to make a sequel based on how much the movie makes, because I'm pretty sure they knew that the critics are going to shit on it, because people, like, critics tend to shit on video game movies. So I think they don't give a fuck about the reviews anymore, or about critic reviews. They care more about actual fans, that they decide basically by the box office. And it's gonna be a little difficult considering that the whole plague is going on, but I don't know, hopefully it works. Maybe they might take in movie sales when it finally does come out in movies, on Blu-ray, but I don't know. Hopefully we get a sequel. And I heard rumors that there's 4 planned sequels. I'm not sure if it's true. I'm gonna look into that, and based on when I look at it and if it's true or not, I'll make a video. It's probably gonna be during my work week if I figure it out. So if it is, probably gonna have to wait until next week. It's Saturday morning right now. I don't get off until next Thursday morning, so it might take a few days. Hopefully it doesn't, or hopefully it won't be that much, that I can just make the video after getting off of work like I did today. But yeah, if you enjoy this video, this movie review, make sure to like, comment, and sub, and see you fuckers later.